Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Thursday. Here we are. All right, guys, I'm super excited about our show for you today. And in case you don't know me, my name is Lesli Bitel, and I am a practice building expert specifically for integrative functional medicine and nutrition practitioners. And we have a great show lined up for you today. I'm really looking forward to this topic myself. We are going to talk about how to revolutionize precision wellness testing. And I know many of you in my audience actually do quite a bit of testing, right? I know when I had my private practice, I did it. And so I'm really looking forward to learning more about how we can really make this process seamless and less time consuming, right? That is the key. Because I certainly remember the day when, honestly, it was really tough. It was really, really challenging to run these functional tests because, you were setting up, accounts with every lab and just it was difficult to manage. So I want to give a nice warm welcome to Jen Bruno, Dr. Jen. And to what's that?
Dr. Kim Bruno, you got us switched.
Oh, Dr. Kim, a little bit of a little combining names. That's so funny. And the funny thing is, I was just going to go with it. Didn't even know. All right, Dr. Kim Bruno and Jen Rivas. So I'd love for each of you just to take a moment and share a little bit about your backstory and, really how you came into, doing this type of work.
Go ahead, Dr. Bruno. I'll let you go first.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, thanks so much for having us. And I'd love to share a little bit of my backstory. So I've been in functional medicine for about 17 years. I have run private practices as well as running as functional medicine director for some bigger practices. And I've used a lot of functional medicine lab testing. I started using Vibrant about 5 years ago when they were newer to the market, and it just really attracted me to them about how comprehensive their lab panels were. So I didn't have to have as many accounts everywhere. And so, and then more recently, within the last couple of years, I've come onto the clinical team with Vibrant because I love their testing and their technology. And so I'm doing that as well, just to be able to spread more information about lab testing and functional lab testing to the masses.
Amazing. All right. So, and I should have specified right up front that the organization that you come from is Well ProZ. Is that correct?
That is correct. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to be clear.
It's all one umbrella. So Vibrant Wellness is sort of the parent company. Well ProZ is a subsidiary of that. We're all one big happy team.
Okay. So we'll be talking specifically then about the test from Vibrant, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Amazing, which is great because it just so happens that I know many people inside of my audience, that is their, the company of choice. So that's great.
Wonderful.
Jen, tell us a little bit about you and, your journey into this role that you're in now.
Sure. So I'm on the marketing side of things. I work as the product marketing manager for Well ProZ. Really, I got into this sort of functional holistic space because of my daughter. She's just turned 14, but at 3, she was diagnosed with 2 autoimmune diseases. And it just kind of turned my world upside down, made me look into how we can heal ourselves. I went back and got a certification in holistic nutrition, and that paired with my just sort of passion for marketing, landed me this job, and I'm just in a happy space here. So
amazing. I love it. All right. So, again, I want to welcome everyone. Welcome those of you that are catching us live, and also those of you that are going to catch us on the replay. Let me just kind of give you guys an overview really quick of what we're going to be talking about today, a little bit more specificity. So we're going to share more on how to streamline and automate the ordering process, again, saving you tons and tons of time. the requirements and process to become a vibrant provider. And we're going to talk a little bit more about, what kind of support you get as a provider, right, inside of this organization, which is invaluable, let me just say, in terms of giving you the support you need to help you to interpret the tests, and also, in terms of helping you to make really good recommendations. And we'll touch on why this e-commerce solution makes such good sense for providers. So before we jump into those specifics, I'd love to hear from you, my wonderful audience. Can you let me know in the chat, where are you in terms of functional testing? Give us a little bit of an idea. Like, are you doing testing? If so, are you familiar with Vibrant? Just give us a little bit of background info. I think that would be super helpful for us as we navigate through this conversation today. That way we can really make it personal to you. And we have Henry. Hey, Henry, welcome. Hope you're staying dry wherever you are in California. So I just got back from California myself on Saturday, and it was amazing. But we were down south in Joshua Tree, which was so fabulous. Really, really fun. Definitely desert. Got some rain though. Got some rain that last day. The last day. So, and actually way up in the mountains, flew into Palm Springs, went up into the mountains in an area called Idlewild, California. Yes. Tons of snow.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
crazy.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. Like cars were buried. There was so much snow. Like seriously.
Not what you were expecting.
No,
right?
no. I flew into, Palm Springs with my shorts, right? Like my shorts and t-shirts. And here we are, like going snowshoeing. We just
Oh my gosh.
had to pile on the clothes, made it work.
Yeah.
That's great.
But anyway, so hope you're staying warm and dry, Henry, there in California. So let's take a quick peek at our audience in terms of where they are. All right. So Doug, welcome, Doug. Doug uses Vibrant Labs in his practice, along with some other labs, mostly digestion and hormone labs. Awesome. And then just getting started. And then Vibrant is new to me. I'm getting my list of testing options, hoping to start in the next 35 days. I don't want to overreach. And someone commenting on my pictures. Thank you. Thanks very much. Yeah. I mean, let me just say, if you're a photographer, like insanely amazing photo ops in Joshua Tree. I think it's the lighting and just the Joshua trees are just so spectacular. So thank you. It was hard to pick. Let me tell you, I wanted to put my whole entire camera roll
reel up there, right?
Yeah, I know. Exactly. All right. Oh, hey, Marsha, how are you? Hi from California. Dry today, finally. Oh, I'm glad. I'm familiar with Vibrant and trying out lots of functional medicine testing. And then we've got somebody else getting started. All right. All right, guys. So give me a comment if you're just joining us. Let me know where you are in your journey in terms of integrating functional testing into your practice. All right, ladies. So let's go ahead and jump into some of the content that we promised to share. So I'd love to start by asking you to kind of tell us a little bit about the company, Vibrant Wellness. If you can offer some insight in terms of what makes you unique, maybe a little overview of the types of labs you offer, that would be a great start for our audience today.
Sure. Absolutely. I'd love to start with that. So Vibrant is a comprehensive functional medicine lab testing company. But what really sets us apart is that we kind of started as a technology company. So we have this silicone microarray chip that we can use for our testing. And because we can use that, we can do what we call multiplexing, which is just basically a fancy way of saying we can run a lot of tests. And it's all automated because we're utilizing a really advanced technology system. And because of that, we also have increased sensitivity and specificity. So I mean, that's like the best of all worlds, right? You get your
True.
cake and eat it too, because you can have a very sensitive and specific test, but you can get it in a way that is state-of-the-art technology. We have a CLIA certification, a CAP accreditation, which is really, really important for functional medicine lab testing to be able to have that CAP accreditation.
Okay.
So we go through very rigorous testing to be able to keep that and maintain it, to be able to offer the highest level of accuracy. And that's really what's important to providers, right? Is they want accuracy in their testing. And so we're able to do all of that on this platform. And also with that platform, we can offer a wide variety of testing. So I know, I used to be able to have like all these different accounts, and now it's like, it's very streamlined because you can do so much because of the way the technology runs.
Okay. One thing, I don't want to go off on too big of a tangent, but you use some language that might need just a little definition. And that is, would you mind just briefly defining the difference between sensitivity versus specificity?
Sure, absolutely. So I like to describe it as a needle in a haystack. Okay.
Okay.
So the sensitivity is your ability to detect the needle in the haystack. And your specificity is your ability to understand or know that it's a needle, that it's not a pin, that it's not a pen, some other thing that could maybe cross react or look similar to it. So you're really looking to be able to, know what you know, like you're able to be sensitive in what you're picking up. And so you're 100% sensitive that I'm able to detect it. And I also 85 to 90 to 100% specific that I know exactly what it is and there's no cross reactivity. So it's really that kind of needle in a haystack and knowing that you're correct.
Okay. I love it. And so typically I thought there was like, if one goes up, the other, you're kind of like, you kind of have to give
to get
on
the other
side.
Yeah. So on some tests, that is part of of what happens. We don't tend to lose a lot of the specificity to get increased sensitivity because of the way the microchip is. And because we are separating out those peptides or recombinant antigens prior to putting them on the microchip, we can get high sensitivity and high specificity at the same time, which is really important.
Amazing. That's huge, guys. I just want to say that is really significant. Okay. So basically you're offering really a whole host of different types of labs. What would you say your most popular labs, your most commonly used labs? Can you kind of summarize that for us?
We have hundreds of labs that we offer, anything from your basic, your basic CBCs all the way up to very complex labs. But I would say the things that really make providers excited and make us really stand out. We have a test called the total tox burden, which basically is looking at your heavy metals, your mycotoxins, and your environmental toxins all on one panel. And we offer the most of any of those analytes compared to our competitors. So that's really exciting, especially in this world that has so many toxins, and toxic burden affects so many other parts of our health, right? So we're talking about hormones, we need to talk about toxins. If we're talking about gut health, we need to talk about toxins and mycotoxins and those types of things. We also offer micronutrient testing, but a big variety. We offer intracellular and extracellular levels. So it's not just what's floating in your bloodstream, but we can tell you what's also inside your cell where like all the biochemistry happens, right? That's where your mitochondria are. That's where your DNA is. And so it's like, we want the nutrients in the cell and we want to know how much is in the cell. And then, we also offer genetics, and some of that genetics can go along with the micronutrients. So not only do you get a micronutrient level, but then you also get the genetics to tell you, do you have a genetic predisposition to be able to absorb or convert or not those particular nutrients? And so we start to really like step back and be able to give our patients so much information that really can guide their health. We offer infection testing, tick-borne testing, co-infections. I mean, those are probably the big ones that really providers get excited about.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's interesting, just like over the last actually literally in the last 24 hours, I've had 2 people actually reach out. I have a history of mold exposure, right? So unfortunately, I kind of feel like I'm a pseudo expert. And so, yeah,
interesting. You go through it, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. And it was many, 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 many years of not knowing, right? Going to doctor saying, look, I know my labs, I know I look decent, but I know something's not right. And that whole thing of, no, you're fine, but anyway, so I've had 2 people literally in the last 24 hours, and I don't practice anymore, but just 2 people who, I believe they have used your test, and they're like, hey, Lesli, what do you think? Like, oh, you got an issue here. You got to really take that seriously. Right. Because nothing gets better until you fix your environment.
Oh, absolutely. I tell patients it's like brushing your teeth and eating Oreos at the same time, right? Like if we can't get rid of that, like if we're going to make very little progress anywhere else.
Yeah, you can't put a band-aid on that. It's just not gonna work. Unfortunately, because remediation and all that is pretty intense. Like that is a whole emotional journey in of itself. But anyway, that is great. You guys really are doing some amazing work in terms of your testing. And like I said, I would venture to say that most folks in my audience, I would just say, I know this is kind of a sweeping statement, but many/most are at least familiar with these tests. So that is great. Okay, so that being said, though, the folks that aren't yet using Vibrant, what are some of the requirements, and maybe even the process to get started in becoming an actual Vibrant provider?
Very good. Jen, do you want to take that?
Sure. Okay. And Lesli, I put it in the chat, but I don't know if that was just in the private chat.
Oh, let's see. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Let me share that. I can copy and paste.
Awesome. The process is super easy. And really the only thing that our providers need is an MPI number.
Okay.
And they'll go to that link. They can sign up. It just takes a minute. And one of the big perks is that we're going to give them $400 to use towards testing. So if they're not familiar, this is a great opportunity for them to try 1 or 2 of our tests out to just get a feel for it, talk to our clinicians. But that's really it. They just need to go to that link, sign up, and someone will be reaching out.
So the requirement is you have to have an NPI.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have to be a licensed practitioner or
no
anything? Okay.
Just that MPI number. Yeah.
All right. Fabulous. That's easy enough. Fantastic. Guys, I did want to just draw your attention to a post I put in the comments. And you can see the URL. I don't know if that's clickable, guys, on the comments, but maybe you can copy and paste it. It's hello.vibrant-wellness.com/new-account. So, and the very nice offer. Oh, good. Thanks, Doug. Doug says it's clickable. Beautiful.
Oh, wonderful.
I love it. I love it when, tech cooperates the way I envision it.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing. Awesome. And we see Marsha's excited about the opportunity. And especially to get $400 towards testing. So when I had my practice, I always found that was the best approach, was to test myself, maybe test family members, really get a feel for the utility of the test and the usefulness. Oh, we have a great question here. New York practitioners. New York is tricky.
New York is tricky.
How close do you live to New Jersey? I guess is the question, right?
Yeah, so there is some additional paperwork that needs to be signed, and it is a scaled back test menu.
Okay.
But there are there's still a really wide variety of testing that is available to providers in New York. And so as long, and it's just a matter of, having an additional signature from the patient and being able to turn that in, and then the results can be released and that type of thing. We've got some great, reps in that area who can also make sure that those specifics for the New York practitioners are communicated so they know exactly what's available to them. Yeah.
Okay. That's great. I'm actually pleasantly surprised, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that it wasn't even possible.
For a long time, and for a lot of functional medicine labs, it's just not possible at all. So the fact that we're able to offer, a good variety of tests, maybe it's not 100% of the test menu, but a good variety of tests with just kind of some additional paperwork is really helpful.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Is it, again, I don't want to go too deep into this, but is it because of the lab certifications and things like that, or not related?
I don't know the exact rule. It's a New York State law,
right?
What they allow, and it doesn't have anything to do with our accreditations or certifications or anything like that. But I'm not sure what the exact.
We don't need to know. As long as we know we can run some tests in New York, we're good, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So
I see a lot of New York tests coming through because I do the clinical consultations, and so I talk to a lot of providers from New York. So I see a good variety of things coming through.
Okay, amazing. Okay, well, speaking of which, what can you describe a little bit of the support that you do provide practitioners?
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
So I'm hearing that it sounds like there's quite a bit of support, but maybe you can elaborate on that a bit.
Absolutely. With a test menu as vast as ours and being able to offer tests that maybe are newer to providers or providers want to try out, we offer a lot of support. So we have a full-time clinical staff. There's 10 of us who do clinical consultations. Those are complimentary. You get those consultations with anytime you run a test, you can book a clinical consultation. And some of us have some specialty areas. So if you want somebody at a real high level to explain something, you could go to that person. If you just want like general overview, then a lot of us will do also general overview. And that's all in our bios. It's very easy right from the portal. You can just go and read everybody's specialties and bios and be able to schedule appropriately with that. And then on top of that, we also have interpretation guides and webinars and lots of other like paper resources. Because I know as a provider, maybe if the first time I ran a neurotransmitter test, I wanted to have a consult. But times after that, I just wanted something I could desk
refer to.
Right? Like, what's that one marker? Where's that in the pathway? Yeah. And we have these guides that are coming out that are almost like little mini dissertations. And they have these, they have all the information in it, if the marker's high or low, and lifestyle considerations and supplements and everything in it. So you'll have access to that too as a provider. So we really can kind of be there with you. For first times or with, complicated patients. And then we also can offer some of those desk references to be able to do that interpretation kind of in the long haul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So that is super helpful. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about, the e-commerce solution component, right? A little bit about how that works and, how this is beneficial to the provider.
Yes, absolutely. So, the leaders of our company, they really saw the writing on the wall a few years ago. And I think, even before the pandemic and COVID-19, which sort of expedited, I feel like a lot of more providers being online, we wanted to create a one-stop shop solution for our providers where they really had not only the support, but everything they needed in one place. Hence Well ProZ. So Well ProZ is an e-commerce solution where our providers can sell our lab tests. So we are seamlessly integrated with Vibrant. They have their own premium supplement dispensary. We're currently fully integrated with Whole Scripts.
Okay.
Yeah, really cool. So that's
amazing. Did not know that.
Yes. And they can also create, different custom products or services or bundles, which are really popular. And that's combining maybe a consultation with a lab test and possibly even a supplement protocol, depending on, how they run their practice. So that is really the nuts and bolts of Well ProZ. And you spoke to saving time, Leslie. This is a huge time saver for our providers. We did notice that a good portion, probably 50% of the providers that use Vibrant were still doing patient bill. And this actually takes you completely out of that process.
Oh, okay. Tell us how that works.
So you can, with a click of a link or with an email or a text message, send them to your Well ProZ shop. You can even send them specifically to the product you want them to purchase. They just click on that, they fill out the information, and then everything, because we're, like I said, fully integrated with the supplement company and Vibrant Labs, it speaks directly to them. Nothing needs to be done on the data entry side, and those items are drop shipped to the patient's door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Definitely.
Times have changed.
Yes. And there's a lot of other.
I'm thinking of how much time in practice I was like data entry, like putting in all the lab orders at the end of the night and like doing all the things. Oh my gosh.
I know it was, I mean, it just in my, limited experience, and I gotta say, it was a real deterrent. It was like, labs. I don't, it's like, I just, it made it, I positioned it differently in my mind as kind of a last resort, just because it just was so time consuming.
It becomes tedious and complicated. Yeah. And so we just streamline that process. We automate it for our providers. There's other benefits too, but I would say time saving is probably the biggest one. But then you can look at saving money, whoever you were utilizing, whether it was yourself or let's say someone from your staff that was designated for that role, well, they can now spend their time doing other things.
Right.
All around faster results for the patient. It increases patient retention and satisfaction because we're just used to doing everything on our phones or on our laptops. Yeah. It just makes it really easy and convenient.
So I know this is a little off the cuff, but do you have could you do a screen share? You know what I'm saying? Like of what it looks like? I don't know if, and it's okay if you can't.
Well, what I did queue up, let me see if I can find it. There is like a minute and a half. I don't know if we have time for that, but a video that I think will kind of better illustrate what I'm
you can
saying.
Do that.
Yeah. Let me
If you share your screen, I can, I think I can kind of like make that happen on my end. Marcia, she did not say full script. She said whole script, right?
Right.
I believe. And whole script, is that Zymogen? Okay.
It's powered by Zymogen, yes.
Powered by Zymogen, but they carry other brands, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. So we've got a library of just under 1,000 different supplements that our providers can use in their supplement dispensary.
Okay. Yeah. That's great.
And I don't know, is it sharing?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Okay.
Guys, so we're going to just show this short video. Just because I think it would be helpful to be able to visualize. I know it would be for me because I want to see it. And then we'll do some Q&A. How's that sound? All right. So go ahead and type your questions in and we'll take care of you there. All right, cool. I can see it.
Okay, perfect. I'll hit play. Like I said, it's just a minute and a half here.
Okay, excellent.
Welcome to Well ProZ, your one-stop solution for all of your practice's e-commerce needs. With Well ProZ, we offer our providers a way to maximize their time and output by eliminating many of the day-to-day data entry tasks. We streamline and automate the ordering process because Well ProZ is seamlessly integrated with Vibrant's extensive list of specialty functional labs and select premium supplement companies. The orders are drop shipped directly to the patient's doorstep. You can increase patient retention and satisfaction by giving them easier access to you online and faster results. Save time by creating bundles, packages, and programs that suit your practice and clientele. Let our team of experts assist you in creating and customizing your shop with ease. There's no need for tech savvy or coding skills. We'll handle all the heavy lifting. We even support you with marketing and promoting your shop. Boost your reach and impact with Well ProZ, a first of its kind solution. Precision wellness just got a lot easier. Inquire today.
All right.
Yes, and I didn't touch on that. I know Dr. Bruno did with clinical as far as support for our Vibrant Labs, but we believe in support throughout our entire company. So you will get a dedicated account manager, and they will basically, like I said in the video, all the heavy lifting is done for you. So we're more than happy to help with all of that.
All right. All right. Were you going to add something, Dr. Bruno?
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
I love that video. This is the first time I've seen it. It was great.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so let's take a peek at what we've got here. All right. So someone's saying they're not seeing the link on their end. I can read. Ooh, I'm getting. Are you guys hearing a little echo?
A little bit.
A little.
All right. Hang on 1 second. Okay. All right. I think I fixed it. Those darn AirPods. Like, yeah, they connect. They have a mind of their own. I think they were trying to connect. Okay. So I'm not seeing the link. So let me I'll repost that. Oops.
And while you're doing that, Leslie, if we have providers on here that are listening that already do have a Vibrant account and you would like a Well ProZ shop, you could just go to www.wellproz.com. And again, it's just a quick inquiry form and we'll get that shop set up for you.
Excellent. Okay, so here's a question. Is the gut zoomer on the list of tests allowed in New York?
I wish I knew that off the cuff, but if you hold while we do other question and answers, I will go ask. I will go look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's a really, really popular one.
Yes, we love the gut zoomer. So yeah, let me double check because I just don't want to say it incorrectly. Okay. So let me check on my end, and then I'll let you guys know, further into the question and answer.
Okay, cool. All right, someone else is looking forward to the guides. Education appointments can be hard to get in time for client follow-up. So, and where did you say the guides are housed?
So they're in the education folder in the portal. And I do also just want to comment that we have been working really hard on the clinical team to get that wait time down, because we know that those appointments are really popular and people have, their clients scheduled. So we are down to about a 2 to 3 day wait time right now, which is significantly less than what we were running last year. Okay. So if you haven't tried to find or get a clinical consultation recently, I do urge you to try and do that again, because the wait times have significantly dropped as we've kind of increased availability and shifted some things around. Because we just really wanted to make sure that our clients were served and being able to get a quicker turnaround on clinical times. So, definitely check that because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. And then Marsha, I think we answered your question. Hopefully it's Whole Script, which is a really good company as well. I'm somewhat familiar with the Zymogen brand and have been very, very happy. And they have other brands as well on their platform. Okay, I need a handout. So much information. Awesome. Okay, guys, any other questions before we start to wrap up? Any, final words of wisdom, recommendations from the two of you?
Dr. Bruno, I would just say, honestly, because of the support that we provide, I mean, for anyone who's maybe a little bit hesitant to just, if they're not yet using labs and they're just afraid of the overwhelm, we will support you in every way. And I know our clinical, I've actually gotten to sit in on some interpretations. They are absolutely amazing. And I don't even think Dr. Bruno is really scratching the surface on what they provide them in support and resources. So definitely a no-brainer.
Yeah. Do you have a sense of, and this might be impossible to answer, but I'll ask it anyway. Uh,
We'll just go there.
what would be a good place to start? You know what I'm saying? Like, for folks on our call today that maybe haven't dipped their toe into functional testing, would you say, I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking micronutrient might be a good place.
That was one that came to mind for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, that came to mind because that's actually how I got introduced to Vibrant. And I think that even though there's providers who don't know about everything that's offered in functional medicine testing, they usually know about one area, right? Whether that's food sensitivities or micronutrient, like something that they feel very, they feel strong about. They're like, yes, I understand like the value of micronutrient testing, or I always test my patients for food sensitivities. Well, that's a really great way to transition over into Vibrant because we offer food sensitivities, we offer micronutrients, we just offer, and then we offer so much more, but it's a way to kind of dip your toe in and get in there and then start looking at those interpretation guides, watching the webinars, maybe deciding, okay, you know what, instead of just a food sensitivity, I'm going to order a food zoomer, which tests at a peptide level. And I want to get that information. And then you can kind of see how it's actually really fun how the ball starts rolling. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this neurological test over here. And I'm going to do this gut test. So, between the food sensitivities, micronutrient, or even gut testing, I think a lot of people are very familiar with gut testing. It's something and that you're utilizing in your practice in it maybe a different form. That's a great way to get started and then be able to explore from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to add on that, Jen?
No, I personally test too. So it's like you're piecing the puzzle together and it just gives you more and more information. So.
Okay, amazing. And Marcia, I just want to point out, and anyone else that's not sure about the link is embedded in this comment of mine. And I'm going to go ahead and just articulate it verbally so that you can grab it. So it's hello.vibrant.wellness.com. Oh, wait, did I say that right? hello.vibrant-wellness.com/new/new dash account. Okay, so I completely all right, one more time, and I'm gonna do it correctly. I gotta focus. hello.vibrant-wellness.com/new-account.
There you go.
All right, I think I got it.
There you go. Got it.
Oh my goodness. All right. Who would have known a link could be so complex, right? All right. So Marcia, hopefully that helps you and you're able to access that link and get yourself an account. I would say get yourself tested, right? And really start there. Okay. All right. Awesome. So any kind of final words of wisdom, anything else that you'd like to share today, ladies?
I don't think I have anything additional. I am still looking up that New York question.
Oh, okay.
And I can get that sent over, as soon as I find an answer for that, and maybe we can, I don't know if you could populate it in the comments and whatnot, but just,
absolutely.
Even when we're done here, I'll make sure I get that sent over so that question gets answered.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking to see who asked that question. I think it might've been someone whose name I could not see.
And I don't ever pretend to speak to the legality of our testing and where, but if I'm not mistaken, I thought the New York protocol was that it couldn't be a serum test. Does that ring a bell with you, Dr. Bruno?
It does ring a bell. I do believe that it has something to do with, as long as it's a, dried blood spot, urine, saliva, or stool collection, that, we are good. I just don't want to be like, I want to make sure I confirm it before we say it officially.
Okay.
That is also what I'm thinking, but I'll get that confirmation to make sure to send it over.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. This has really been very interesting and really motivating. in terms of, adding testing to one's practice. And furthermore, if you're already doing testing, to get yourself on this this e-commerce platform, right? Just to make your life a whole lot easier. Not to mention your patient, I think, would also appreciate it, right? So, all right,
they
guys.
love it.
Yeah, I would imagine they do. It makes a ton of sense. So, all right. Sounds good. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time and your willingness to share your expertise. And I hope all of you, got a ton of value out of spending your time with me today. And so bye for now. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Same place, same time. All right. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks so much.
Bye. Thank you.